Hello everyone, welcome to my art corner. If you are returning, so glad you're joining me again. For those who are new, I'm glad you're here. I'm Kathy. I have been working on a 10-part series on lovely sea creatures. Today will be the final watercolor painting, which will be an easy and fun jellyfish. My next series will be watercolor birds. So, make sure you tune in for that. For the jellyfish, I sketched the jellyfish with pencil, then erased the pencil lines until they were very faint. Then, adding masking fluid around the outline of the jellyfish, so that I can add in the background, wet on wet, with a dark blue hue. Next, adding salt to the wet painted background to create a texture. I will add the salt onto the wet paint. The salt will drop some of the color in water, creating a dramatic background. First, I'll start with the masking fluid. I'm using my masking fluid pens for the small areas. Then use the Winsor Newton with the masking brushes for the large parts and also for the fine areas. Now using the masking fluid brushes. If you could, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you have, many thanks. Now, I will be adding clear water around the jellyfish. Then, dab in different shades of dark blues. I'm using my Arches watercolor block pad. Since I will be using a lot of water, this is where the watercolor paper is glued together. Keeps the watercolor paper from buckling. It's not 100%, but it helps. In this painting, I will also be using my acrylic pens for the white details. With this type of watercolor block, you use a utility knife to separate the paper from the block. I will demonstrate that when the painting is finished. Okay, let's add some clean water. Now for the salt. You just sprinkle it around in the wet paint and let it dry. The painting has dried. I have removed the salt from the paper. You can see where the salt has taken up the water and color, leaving a textured background. Next, I'm removing the masking fluid. I'm finding that the Winsor Newton fluid is much easier to remove from the paper than the masking fluid pen. Finally finished removing the masking fluid. I didn't film it because it took a long time and was tedious. Okay, let's add color to this jellyfish. You can use whatever color you would like, or you can follow along with me. Did you know that some jellyfish don't have brains, hearts, or even blood? Instead, they rely on a simple nerve net to detect stimuli and coordinate their movements, making them one of the most primitive yet fascinating creatures in the ocean. At the end of this video, there'll be a pro tip, so stay tuned for that. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say that I didn't erase the masking fluid from the top of the jellyfish, because I will be adding color on the top. Alright, I'm finished with this part. Once it's dry, I'll erase the masking fluid on the top and then start using a white acrylic pens to add the details. Now that the painting is dry, I see that I need to add more color to the body of the jellyfish. Another thing I find fascinating about jellyfish is that some jellyfish can clone themselves. If a jellyfish is cut in half, some species can regenerate into two separate, fully functioning jellyfish. Even more incredibly, the Torotopsis dohrnii, known as the immortal jellyfish, can revert to its juvenile form after reaching adulthood, essentially restarting its life cycle indefinitely. Here's a picture of the immortal jellyfish. Wow, that would be fun to paint. What do you think? I would love for you to comment on this video. Let me know about your painting journey. By adding more saturated colors to the painting, certainly enhance the look of the jellyfish. Before I finish up the jellyfish, here's the pro tip. You can experiment with acrylic resist effects. Paint details with waterproof acrylic first. Watercolor will beat off these areas, creating resist effects. This works well for highlights, tree branches, or intricate textures. I haven't tried the acrylic resist effects technique yet, but I'll give that a try in an upcoming video. Okay, let's finish up the jellyfish. I'll be using my acrylic pens to add the final details to the jellyfish. If you could hit the like button, that will help out my channel. Thanks so much. Here, I'm adding in a darker purple at the bottom of the jellyfish dome to add depth. I love this simple, but dynamic and colorful jellyfish. Now, it's time to cut the paper from the block. Using this utility knife, I will gently separate the paper from the block. As you can see, the block minimized the warping of the paper. It's not perfect, but if you're not going to stretch the paper, it's the next best thing. Thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you next time here in my art corner. Have a wonderful day and happy painting.